Fox squirrel, or Sciurus Niger. Wait, Squirrus Niger? Maybe it's my favorite. Sciurus Niger. However it's said. If you love the movie Up as much as I did, you probably just know them as Squirrel! All joking aside, let's get Sciurus and talk about the fox squirrel. You'll find these furry friends in savanna-like habitats, where trees are spread out and the climate is warm, with the rain season that is limited to 6 to 8 months. They, however, don't like to inhabit heavily forested areas. The fox squirrel can be recognized by its orange and tan coloration similar to a fox. If you live in Southern California, there's a good chance you've encountered the fox squirrel, as it is likely a fox squirrel or a gray squirrel. The abundance of fox squirrels makes their conservation status of least concern. The fox squirrel is a tree squirrel. You can find them living in oak, hickory, cypress, and eucalyptus trees, to name a few. When they are raising their young, you can find them in hollowed out lower sections of trees. And later in adulthood, fox squirrels like to make nests high up in the treetops. One thing that makes the fox squirrel so keen to survival is their flexible diet. They will eat all sorts of plants and anything they can find in urbanized areas, such as trash and food scraps. But like all squirrels, they love nuts and seeds. They'll roll up and bury these nuts and seeds to eat later and either forget or misplace them. These seeds will sprout new plants and trees. In this way, the fox squirrel is a huge contributor to the makeup of the land they inhabit. The fox squirrel is not native to the LA River. In fact, most fox squirrels are concentrated in the eastern part of North America, where they are native. The fox squirrels were brought with travelers from the Mississippi Valley, where they ended up as pets of residents of the Sawtell Veterans Home. You might know it today as the West Los Angeles VA Medical Center. And in 1904, residents were forced to release their pet squirrels into the VA grounds, where they ventured out and thrived throughout California. As you can see from the iNaturalist maps, there are regular sightings of the fox squirrel in both the Elysian Valley and the Sepulveda soft bottom sections of the LA River, with 7 observations in the Elysian Valley section and 6 observations in the Sepulveda section. Surprisingly, there are no observations in the channelized areas. This could be because there are fewer trees or the habitat isn't favorable to the fox squirrel. However, I think it's more likely that there are fewer observations of the fox squirrel in channelized areas because there are fewer observers in the channelized areas. The fox squirrel can inhabit urban areas, and I've seen large populations of fox squirrels near channelized sections of the LA River. After digging a little farther, you find the observations of the fox squirrel reflect the overall distribution pattern of mammals found in specific parts of the LA River. While there are more observations in the soft bottom sections, the Elysian Valley section has similar observation numbers when compared to the channelized sections, and there's a major increase in the observations in Sepulveda sections. This is most likely because Sepulveda sections are located in basin wildlife reserves. So rather than saying the soft bottom sections have more mammals, it might be more accurate to say the number of mammals decreases in sections that are more inhabited by humans, or sections that are more urbanized. This, in combination with the thought that observers likely will flock to sites that have better habitats for observations, would be my guess at explaining the observation differentials found. There are plenty of benefits of having the fox squirrel around, like planting new trees and plants, which can be food and homes for other animals. And in the food chain, they play a huge role. They often serve as dinner for predatory birds, coyotes, wild cats, snakes, foxes, and many more. So, should the fox squirrel be removed from the LA River? I don't think so. There's not much downside to having the fox squirrel around. The main concern would be its displacement of the native gray squirrel, which can often be found in Griffith Park areas. Other than that, they can be a sneaky, relentless pest to humans, often eating up gardens and trash. Oh, my poor tomatoes. So, when it comes to the LA River, just let squirrels ski. Let squirrels be. Thanks for listening.